5 things to know before moving to New York City. Hi guys! In today's video, we'll talk about one of the world's greatest cities, New York City. New York is globally famous for being an economic, cultural, and entertainment hub. Besides being a cosmopolitan city, New York is a very popular tourist destination and boasts thousands of restaurants with authentic food you definitely need to try out. In addition, New York is famous for its busy lifestyle, fun, and great neighborhoods. All this might seem intimidating, and it's true that you'll need some time to get used to the place, which is why we recommend doing some research before you decide to move here. So for anyone that wants to come here and needs some main pointers about the city, we conducted a list of things to know before moving to New York City in the following text below. Number 1. Prices. Now we presume that you must have heard that New York is among the most expensive cities in the world, which is unfortunately true. Besides very costly housing options, the city itself requires you to have a pretty big pocket to enjoy all of its amenities, which can be challenging if you're coming from a smaller town and want to experience the most out of New York. Furthermore, the enormous prices of just about everything are why so many New Yorkers live with a roommate. For instance, a one-bedroom apartment in an okay location is about $2,600, so you can see that you will need to do lots of calculating before you make a final decision and move here. Unfortunately, as we mentioned earlier, it's not all about rent, meaning that you will need to spend quite a bit of money on food, entertainment, etc. However, this doesn't mean you can't live here, just that it will take some time to adapt to the new place. Number 2. Taxes. It might seem that we're trying to persuade you that New York is the wrong choice, but we think that it's better for you to know all the right information before you decide to move here. This way, you'll be prepared and know what you're dealing with. With proper planning, organization, and preparation, you won't have a hard time getting along with New York. So next up on the list, let's talk about taxes. In the US, every state has its own rules when it comes to taxes. While some states like Florida or, for instance, Texas have numerous perks when it comes to taxes, residents of other states aren't that lucky, and one of those states is New York. There are 3 income taxes that need to be paid, including the state income tax, the federal income tax, and even the city income tax. This can add up to be a pretty significant number, especially if you're not used to the system. Depending on your income, the tax rates can be extremely high, which is why we advise you to do thorough research on the amount you'll have to pay. Number 3. Pace. If you decide to live here, you need to keep pace with New York's residents, who are very fast, meaning that no one will apologize for pushing you out of the lane. In fact, you need to know that most New Yorkers ignore the lights directing whether it's safe to cross the street or not. Even though we must say that this practice isn't very safe, chances are you'll simply have to blend in and go with the flow. Of course, we understand that this is too big of a difference for some. But if you are into fast-paced places that never sleep, we recommend thinking about New York. Number 4. Boroughs. New York is a big city, and when we say big, we actually mean huge. With a population of more than 8 million residents, the city is divided into 5 well-known boroughs, including Brooklyn, Manhattan, Queens, Staten Island, and the Bronx. Each borough represents its own city, which is very interesting for people wanting to spend their days exploring different settings and environments in the same city. Not every city in the world can say that it boasts different little cities and a big one. Also, every borough has its own advantages and disadvantages, alongside unique characteristics. For example, Queens is the largest borough by area, while Manhattan is infamous for being the most expensive. For instance, if you get bored in, let's say, Brooklyn, and get a better job along the way, you can always decide to move to Manhattan. Number 5. The New York moment. Even though you'll have to spend a significant amount of time exploring the city, it's totally worth it. Now we understand that most people won't have the energy to roam the city streets after a long week. Let's face it, the weekend is the only time you get to spend some quality time with your loved ones and rest from the busy week. However, we highly recommend you take some time to explore the city. Why? It's guaranteed you'll see something fun, new, and interesting every time you go out. This experience is also known as the New York moment and cannot be described with words. You simply have to live it. This phenomenon isn't universal, meaning that it can mean something absolutely different for you than it is for other people. In any case, if you want to experience a concrete jungle and like getting lost and found at the same time, we highly recommend spending some time here.